Hello, I'm Scott Wrighton, and it's my pleasure to serve as the Decatur City Manager and bring you updates from your city government. I'm pleased to report that efforts to contain the virus appear to be working based on the numbers. The positivity rate for Macon County is now at 5.9%, and it's been in that range now for nearly a week. Similar to that number, the positivity rate for our region in the state of Illinois stands at 6.0%. Now, normally, these really good numbers would cause the governor's office to retreat from Tier 3 mitigation and allow certain businesses to reopen. I think he's going to give a little bit more time before he makes that decision because he's concerned that all of the holiday gatherings that we're about to enter into could cause those numbers to step back up. But we will be in contact with the governor's office and encouraging him to reopen businesses as soon as possible based on these really good numbers. Thank you for your help, your participation, and cooperation in making these numbers happen. It wouldn't happen without a cooperative community, a cooperative business climate to make these things happen. In the meantime, while we push for reopening, the city continues to facilitate as much possible assistance to our businesses and to our residents as possible. That assistance takes several forms. There continue to be programs available through the state government, direct to businesses, and you can contact the Economic Development Corporation here in Decatur for additional information about that, and some of the programs you can get information about through your local bank. There are also some programs to assist small businesses made available through the Community Investment Corporation of Decatur, or CICD. And the City Council recently approved an agreement with them to channel some of the funds that we receive from the state and federal government to the CICD so that they can make direct assistance to small businesses. You can contact the CICD at 217-423-0352. Again, the number for the CICD is area code 217-423-0352, and that's for small business assistance. The city also made more than $500,000 available through DOVE, a local social service agency, for people who are behind in rent or behind in their utility payments directly as a result of having lost their job or suffered some other kind of economic dislocation created and caused by COVID. In fact, DOVE began on December 14th having appointments with people right here in the Decatur Civic Center to fill out the applications necessary. So if you think that you might fall into one of those categories, please call DOVE and see if you can be eligible for reimbursement for rent and utility expenses that you built up yet in 2020 that are directly related to COVID impacts. In addition to these programs, the city has received very recently nearly $1.2 million in additional funds to help small businesses. Now, this grant program has a much shorter timeline. We have to move the money through the process much faster, and it also is more restricted to about 3 categories of small businesses. Those business categories are, first, hotels and motels that have suffered losses in revenue directly related to COVID. The second are businesses that have incurred costs for outdoor dining. So these are going to be bars and restaurants that have expended money to put up a tent or to put up outdoor heating or to make safer or barricade areas for outdoor dining. Because of that extra cost related to COVID, and even though they've had to space it and still not maybe been able to bring in as many customers, that's considered an economic impact, and so some of those expenses are reimbursable to those small businesses through this grant program. The third category that this grant program covers is small businesses with less than 10 employees. Now, there's some other restrictions too that the state has imposed. It doesn't apply to home-based businesses or childcare or to special private clubs and some other categories, but many small businesses with less than 10 employees are eligible for this assistance. So if you fit into one of those categories and would like to make an application, we strongly encourage you to do so because we have only until mid-January to try to move these funds through the process and get them to the people and the businesses that need them most. For information about that program, contact the Community Development Department at 217-424-2864. Again, that number is 217-424-2864. The mayor and the city council of the city of Decatur are determined to do what they can to help our local businesses in this very difficult time, even though the city of Decatur has substantial budget problems of its own. For example, at the last city council meeting, the mayor and council decided that they would refund the annual fee for video gaming machines to the businesses, many of which are bars and restaurants that have been hard hit. They would refund those license fees and instead charge the license fees to the terminal operators, which are usually out-of-town companies, as a way of providing some relief to those local businesses. The city waived rules that don't allow food trucks to operate between December 1 and April 1, even though it's cold weather. If they want to be out in business, then we're going to allow them to do that. We've gone after every single small business assistance grant that's out there that we can, and we continue to look for more. In January, the City Council will discuss during one of their study sessions other measures that they might pursue to aid in the business recovery. And we will all be urging the governor's office to reopen our region as soon as possible based on these really good positivity numbers. So in a few days, the majority of our citizens this week will celebrate the author of Peace and Righteousness. We hope that you will find peace in this holiday season, and I look forward to sharing more information about what the city is doing in our next time.